In that last video, sure seems like I whacked a hornet's nest with all the comments I received. Let's get into why I did this shootout like I did and answer some of your questions. If you're viewing this channel for the first time, you may want to pause this video and go back and watch the previous video of the actual 427 shootout that I did between the Ford 427 and the Chevy 427. It'll kind of give you a better perspective as to what I'm talking about as I answer the questions in this video. Why did I do this video? I think the main reason that I did this video was that in this shop right now, I'm very fortunate to have two very rare cars. 1967 Ford 427 XL 7 liter. It's original 427 car. They only made 89 of them. One of one with those options. Also behind me, I have a 1966 Impala SS L72 4-speed convertible. Some guys, I've done some internet research. We all know how dangerous that can be. But anyway, what I've been able to find was maybe it's like one of 100, maybe it's less, maybe it's more, not sure. Rare car, either way. Both of them, very rare cars. So I thought it would be kind of cool to do a highlight of the engines that came in these cars. Yes, the Galaxy is a 67. The engine was identical to the 66. So that's what gave me the idea for the shootout. In this video, I had well over 1,000 questions. That's a lot for me. Probably not many for some of the other channels out there, but for me, that's a lot. And some great views, and the comments were awesome. The vast majority of them were great, positive, and that's fine. I'm not looking for positive feedback. I'm just looking for feedback. You tell me whether something's good, something's bad, and that'll make me decide whether I do something like that again. So what I did, I went through the comments, I read as many as I possibly could, and I came up with about 10 pertinent questions, and some maybe not so pertinent, but I thought I'd bring them up anyway, just to talk about them. So here we go. This video was clickbait.
I got you $1.
Any of you guys who've watched this channel know I don't do clickbait. Do I try to make thumbnails to make you guys look in and subscribe? Yeah, absolutely. But the thumbnails are what they are supposed to be. I did a shootout between a 427 Ford, 427 Chevy on paper and using old test data from the 60s. It's pretty much as accurate as I could find, so that's what I had to use, but it definitely wasn't done for clickbait. And also, I just enjoyed being able to show these two engines to you because of these two unique cars I have in my shop right now. Why didn't you dyno test these engines? First of all, they're very rare, and God forbid would one come apart on a dyno. These are not my engines. None of these things in this shop are mine. I'm helping guys out with their projects. They bring them to me. Nice enough to do that. I'm blessed to have these super rare cars. They allow me to work on them, and I get to shoot cool videos for you guys to watch. So, they aren't my engines. I have no right to dyno test them, and I would never do that. Another reason would be you cannot get the correct replacement parts to rebuild these engines back to the way they were back in 1966 to make a fair comparison. It just wouldn't be, because I couldn't get the exact camshafts. NOS stuff is dried up and gone. Maybe I could get lucky and find something. But again, these aren't my engines. I didn't build them. And the parts were not there when these engines were built to make them exactly as they were coming off the assembly line in 1966. So that wouldn't be a very fair comparison. Camshafts, one would maybe have a different lift than the other. Then I'd hear it in the comments from that. So I thought that just basically looking at the function, the build on paper of each one of these engines, obviously we know the advantages of certain things like canted valves on the big block Chevy versus the inline wedge style valve arrangement on the big block Ford. So you can highlight that and say, okay, that makes the Chevy a little better than the Ford. Or the 2 4-barrel carburation on the Ford. That could make it a little better than the single 4-barrel on the big block Chevy. So dyno testing is not something that I'm even able to have access to. I think the nearest dynamometer is maybe an hour from me. It would probably cost me $2,000 to run these engines on the dyno. I don't have that kind of money to blow on this, especially when they're not my engines. There were a couple people, they must not have been Ford people, am I guessing, that were confused what the 427 was. Guy said, is that a Cleveland, a Windsor, 385? What is that thing? All right, let's be clear. Ford had several different engine series. The 427 that I focused in on that shootout was an FE series. The Windsor are all, this is a Chevy term, small block. Fords don't use small block, big block. They use the engine family to describe which engine it is. So saying that this is a 427 Ford FE big block is incorrect. It's just an FE. This is a Chevy big block. That's the name given to Chevy, by Chevy if I'm not mistaken, for this engine. Small block as well, Chevy small block. Those terms kind of drifted over to all the makes. So now it's kind of a generic term used to describe big displacement engines and small displacement engines. But anyway, it's not a Windsor, it's not a Cleveland, it's an FE. Why didn't you compare the 429 Ford versus the 427 Chevy? Okay, going back to the original premise of the video, that really wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever. Some of the guys said, well, the 429 Ford and the 427 Chevy were both out at about the same time. The 427 Ford was earlier than the 427 Chevy, but obviously these two engines were in production at the same time and at some point could have gone head-to-head against one another. That, along with the fact I don't have any 429 power cars in this garage, it just didn't really fit into with what I was going to go with on this video. Chevy guys chimed in and said, absolutely, there is no question that a Chevy is better than a Ford because nobody's putting Ford engines in Chevys. All right, if it's 1982 and you're at a car show, what are you going to see in a street rod? Small block Chevy, of course. Today, that's not even the case anymore. Guys put all kinds of makes in different cars. I've seen plenty of Ford engines in Chevy cars and vice versa, still happens. So, that's a fine question. But again, something else that really wasn't relevant to the shootout, but I just thought I'd address it anyway, just because the times have changed. Had a lot of LS fanboys out there chime in about how the LS would have been a better engine, in particular 427 LS. Okay, that's a modern engine. No comparison whatsoever to these engines whatsoever. And I get it. They make good power, great engine. And there could be a debate on that as far as it being one of the best done or best made. Got to throw the Coyote into the mix as well. Much smaller displacement, plenty of power, runs every bit as fast as an LS in the same circumstances and same performance add-ons. Chevy is better than Ford because it makes more horsepower and there's more of an aftermarket following for all the Chevy engines. Okay, let's address each one by one. The guy said the Chevy made more power than the Ford. I can prove that to be not the case. Lots of big block Chevy, we're talking naturally aspirated here. Lots of big block Chevys, naturally aspirated, with let's just say under 500 cubic inches to save some fighting. You can see those making 1,000 horsepower. A little more, maybe a little less, but that's pretty much where they're at. The Ford FE engine, I can point to several of those in that same cubic inch range, also making 1,000 horsepower. So to say one engine makes more power than the other, thus for it's better, that's not true. They can both be built to make the same amount of power. But again, we're going back to the original premise of the video. That's kind of irrelevant because we're dealing with stock engines. On to the second part of the question. The aftermarket support for the Chevy is better than the Ford. And that's why it's a better engine. Okay, I get that. There are way more aftermarket options for a big block Chevy than there are for an FE Ford engine. However, in the recent years, probably within the last 20 years, you've seen a larger aftermarket support for the Ford FE engine than you had ever. You can get brand new blocks, parts, heads, intakes, cranks. You can buy all the parts to build a brand new FE engine without using one single original part from a 427 or any other FE engine. So does Chevy have a head on that? Yeah, got to give that credit to the Chevy. Definitely better aftermarket support. But the Ford FE drags up a close second. All you have to do is look at LeMans, and that'll tell you which is the better engine. Okay, let's address that. In the 60s, yes, Ford, along with the help of Carroll Shelby and Hallman and Moody, they won LeMans more than once and did a 1-2-3 finish. Chevy wasn't even racing then. It wasn't even a close comparison with that. So yeah, Ford definitely dominated in racing events like Le Mans. But that really wasn't Chevrolet's gig, I guess you want to call it. After that, they got more into the road racing in America with Trans Am, Can-Am stuff.
Here they go into 8,
and they did very well there too. So to say a Ford engine's better because it won Le Mans multiple times, I can't go there on that one, but I get the idea. It definitely is a strong provenance for the 427 Ford engine. Why didn't you compare the 427 Ford against the L88 or the ZR1? That would have been a better comparison. Okay, no, it wouldn't have. And you know that, Chevy guys who made that comment, just because you wanted to stack the deck against a Ford engine. That's fine. And I expected that, but that would definitely not have been a fair comparison. If you're going to do that, then I would throw the 427 single overhead cam engine into the mix and then see how that L88 or the ZR1 would do against that engine. I also want to address the comments made by the Mopar contingent out there who were complaining I didn't throw a 426 Hemi into the mix for this shootout. Again, it's not part of the deal that I'm doing here. This is a comparison of the two cars I have in my shop right now and the two engines that came in those cars. So I hope I didn't ruffle too many Mopar feathers out there, but you guys have a great engine too. I'd just like to say thank you for all of you who viewed the last video and all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow and helps me bring you more content. So if you're watching this video, thank you. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I got more stuff coming. Thanks for watching.